Greetings, dear ones. It is I, Cifehtr. I have been asked to to bring my opinion, my perspective upon this floating, hmm, shall we say vessel? Shall we say rock? Shall we say organic matter? Inorganic matter, this blip that has rocketed through the consciousness of mankind in the last few months. The world has been caught up in this three-eye atlas concept. And I have refrained from bringing my perspective. I have refrained from speaking on this because I have to ask which timeline, which reality are you observing it from? And I have observed, I have perceived many timelines from various well-meaning beings. And let us be honest, the gatherings of information put into a computer to regurgitate a structured response pertaining to the leaning and ilk of those who have entered in the required information to be able to give you what is believed to be an answer. There are those who see, those who channel, those who bring forth information. There are those who use AI to construct the answer because they don't quite like what they are intuiting. So they take information from all over, enter it in, and get a fine-tuned response. Then there is what I would refer to as the biggest comedian show out, NASA. And many of you will deny that. And many of you will say that NASA is the best and only means to gather true information. And we will debate on that another day. But let us look at what we have at this moment. The information we have is that in mid-July, early to mid-July, NASA decided to map the sky. Strange, they've had telescopes and radars and other mechanisms out there mapping the skies for many years. But no, they needed to have something new, something else up there to map the skies. Now, my question is, was the information that has been spread about the earth in such ferocity, was it pre-programmed into that which has been released to map the skies in July, to be drip-fed? Was it a program, or was it a discovery? This we will come to. If it was a program, what was the program to do? What was its goal? To bring yet further separation, to bring questioning, to fulfill the self-proclaiming prophecy that there is an alien invasion coming? How many of you are tapping the fingers? Even some great channels are predicting that there will be an invasion, a first contact, so to speak, of aliens, greys and zetas and the Nordics and blah 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 blah. You can tell I am not that excited about this. And you may ask why? Because first contact has come and gone. The aliens have been amongst you since before many of you were born. They have been feeding off your energies and taking some of you down into their domains. They do not come from the great skies and the night void. They live beneath you in a realm that is far, far more complex and advanced in technology and in every way possible than what you exist in on the surface of this realm. But what you have here suffices you. It serves you, and you are able to, in that which is your conscious awareness and awakening, to utilize this to the most powerful way you can. But you have to acknowledge this and step into it. And again, we can cover this at a different time. What is this comet? What is this spaceship? What is this rock? Is it a reality? Or is it just something that has been put into your perspective by those who want you to obey, to purchase, to be distracted, and to accept the common narrative? I find it very strange, and this has indeed been reiterated by many scientists and spiritual groups. And when I say spiritual, I'm talking of those who truly connect into energy. I find it very strange that at the one time, evidence, true evidence, could have been visualized. Every official means was shut down because there was problems at the Pentagon, problems in the federal area, and everything needed to shut down because nobody was at work. Humanity, mankind, how blind can you be? Now, there are those who have jumped into the energy and they have projected their minds, their souls, their visual connection into a time jump. Some have seen great things, connections to Mars, lights coming out. And yet, one thing I will say has been in an agreement. There have been scientists and seers who say that this object became a very colorful blue. It became bluer than blue. Now, some say that this is as it passed the Mars, it was connecting to Mars. It was downloading something, or perhaps uploading. We are not sure. They just saw a stream of blue light going from the ship, the stone, the comet, the organic matter, the inorganic matter, the gas. I am not going to label it other than just an object. But both spiritual groups or seers, channelers, and scientists have agreed that there seems to be some abnormality with this because it seems to guide itself. It does not follow the rhythm of the expected projections of a comet. it seems to adjust fractionally its trajectory. I'm going this way, and then no, 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 I need to go this way. So it moves itself in a place of movement. Now, if we follow the NASA teaching, there is no wind except for the solar winds. There is no air. There are gases. But you do not have what we have, or what they say we have here on Earth, which is air currents. But you have solar currents. But the solar currents come from the sun that is so far out in the galaxy of something, the void, but yet it is seen with the naked eye rising and falling as you travel in airborne vehicles. And yet, if it was as far away as they say it is, you should not be able to see it as clearly as what you do. But again, this is falling into, are we a globe? Are we a flat earth? And we will not get into that at this moment. But all these things play a part. So let us get to the distraction. Let us get to the fact was all of a sudden, NASA sends out instruments to map the sky. And shortly thereafter, they discover a comet, a projectile coming through our space that was never there before, and at a speed that's never been recorded, flying itself, so to speak. It does not behave like any other comet. They give you the scientific reasons. There is no ice tail, then there is an ice tail. There is no metal, and then there is metal. There's nickel, but then there's always nickel. And then there's all of these discoveries that happen in a procedural way of unpacking or unfolding this discovery. I find it very strange that it's in such succinct mannerisms. I have to ask you, what are they trying to get you to focus on? What is happening in the realm of men that they are distracting you? Could it be that they are distracting you from the digital ID that is trying to be integrated into your world? Could it be that they are distracting you from the thrusts and the permeations of energy that are coming from their own man-made harp instruments to bring you into a density and a submissive behavior pattern? Could it be that they are trying to create a dissolution or a separation between you and this great planet that, or landmass that you live on, and the Schumann resonance that is attempting to dislodge you from the falsity? There are many things that have been going on that some spiritual energies have been bringing your attention to, but most have been focusing at the sky. So let us look downward. Let us stop looking up. Yes, let us agree that this thing has traversed through the sky. It has caught our attention. But you have to ask yourself, why did NASA shut everything down? Why did the federal government shut everything down, of which NASA is part, and NASA is one of the biggest parts of it? It's part of the military. It's not just science, it's military science. Why was it shut down? Why were all the satellites, all the cameras, all the telescopes not connected? Was there an ongoing recording? Did any of the other worldwide cosmology places, telescopes, did they take any evidence? Or if they did, Do they have permission to reveal it? Remember, everything goes through NASA. And if it does not meet the narrative, it does not get released. Well, there are many things that you need to comprehend about the agreements between the so-called governments that hate each other and yet are so combined and so synced and so connected in the back rooms that you would think it was one government, which it is. Three-Eye Atlas is not, as was purported by some channels, an alien ship full of Palladians and other beings. Octurans are claiming it for themselves. Palladians are claiming it for themselves. I'm surprised those who believe that the Lions or the feline species that they call Lyrans, they haven't claimed it for themselves. That the Nordics haven't claimed it for themselves. When an event happens that takes your eyes off of what is going on around you and says, look up, look up, look up, become distracted. You have to ask yourself why. Now, I am not in any way saying that those who did future scene or allowed themselves to remote view or allowed themselves to tap into an energy feed that showed them something that wasn't projected or wasn't recorded by visible means. I'm not saying that they are wrong. I'm asking you to attune to the timeline that they are viewing, because it is very important in this period, in this moment of your essence, of your awarenesses, that you realize that you are running a multiple timeline existence. And that timeline existence has been split into the multiplicity due to the complexity of your governance at a greater level, of that which is your governments, your higher governments, your shadow governments, the governments you do not even know exist. And yes, I'm going to say even here the Black Sun connection, the draconian connection. You are in the year of the snake, the Ouroboros. And I said to you, and Whitefeather said, many of us said at the beginning of this calendar year, that this was a year of repetitive looping or change. Breaking free, completing, or repeating and repeating and repeating and reincarnating back into the timeline. It is up to you. And so timelines are being split. Where do you stand? Now, for those of you who connect into a timeline that says, oh yes, I see this, I resonate with it, it is truly a great message from the stars, so to speak. The star seeds are sending us a message. They're on their way to rescue us. Well, that message, my friends, has been given to us by various channelers since, in many ways, before this one was born. And she is in her 50s already. So where are they? And why have they not come to rescue you? The distraction is this. You are your own rescuer. You are your own one to save yourself. And I can take you through that teaching in another way, in another moment, but you have to want it. Okay. So if you are being distracted, why are you being distracted? On the timeline that you are in, Ask yourself, how does this meteorite, this comet, this thing affect me? Why was, if it is real, and you're being told it's real because all the scientists and astrologists are saying that they've seen it in the astronomers, they've seen it in their telescopes, they've plotted it, they can show you it's there, they've got thermal imaging. Yeah, I'm not saying that that is not true, but is it real? And this again falls into the illusionary, the dream within a dream, the simulation, the holographic realm. If they, the government, and those that are in power behind the government, are attempting to recreate in your energy the possibility of an invasion, of a visitation of aliens, what better way to do it than introduce something that has never truly been seen before? Oh, yes, you've had the black satellite, yes? That's been going around and it pops up every so often. But here is something that propelled itself, so to speak. Here is something that did not behave in every way that it should have behaved if it was a comet or a meteorite. So that leaves the question mark, is this a space vessel? Is it a vessel? Even scientists are now referring to it as a vessel. Not a rock, not a comet, not a meteorite. They are interlinking these words. They're calling it one thing and then another and then another, and they are not sure. But I find it strange that they use this word because it is implying that they believe that it is a self-propelled instrument. And of course, it's come from a realm, an area that has not been discovered, not been investigated, is what they call the dark disk or the large disk. It's a place outside of where you are, outside of the realm, outside of the holosphere. You are in a place of choice. You can look at this and say, this is a good entertainment story. I'm going to observe it. Yes, they tell you that it will come back from behind the sun and it will come out and it will project itself to Jupiter. And when it gets there, they're going to take some photographs. But is it not strange that the only photograph that they will be able to take will be from, instead of multiple opportunities of instruments, one instrument so far away that if it does take, if the imagery does take, it probably will not be the best quality. And that will again be in the discussion and the thesis of that it could possibly still be a comet. Can't be a ship. Can't be this. It can't be that. Again, this is the distraction. Get you focused on what it could possibly be. Meanwhile, what is happening here? What is happening in the realm of men? What is going on land? Why do they want you to look up, look down, look around you, be in touch with what is going on? I am not saying that this did not occur. It did occur. Something flew through the skies. I personally Know that it was perhaps one of the biggest and the most humongous pieces of ancient, ancient rock. It is rock. But it is also, may I say the word, a living entity. It is not an alien ship. It is not full of aliens that are going to come and rescue you.